Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Sure. Now, y'all got to forgive me. I am tired. Somebody commented the other day, Tony, you look tired. That's like, it's crazy. In the comments, you learn how many people not raised right. It's like if your cousin come to the family reunion and the grandma or whoever be like, ooh, you put on weight. It's like everybody know how they look. You ain't got to tell nobody. But we over here on a different time zone. We never got to really reset to this time zone, which 5 hours ahead. So, and then having wedding festivities, it's just ripping and running. And so the sleep ain't really been what it's supposed to be. But today, I'm in London and we was in Oxford. Now I'm in London. And I was at Harrods. And shout out to I was at where was I? I was at a food market, the Borough Market or something like that. And I met 2 or 3 of y'all who watched the videos. And then I met a lady from New York who was a doctor, and another lady. And then at Harrods, I met another lady. And I saw a couple other people that like wanted to speak but didn't speak. So that was a blessing. But one of the things I noticed is at this place called Harrods, it was a lot of Muslim women. And at this particular place, these Muslim women got so much money. I mean, they head to toe designer. People be talking about black people just be designer. These women, it looked like they from the Middle East somewhere, but they probably live in London. So much money. I mean, I don't know what they families do. They were head to toe designer, and they still shopping. They got Louis Vuitton. I'm guessing that's just their outlet. Maybe they most likely housewives, and shopping is their outlet. Like that's what they get to do. Like get to go shopping, and no telling what the man doing. I don't know much about the culture. I could tell they Muslim because of their outfits. But I started thinking about this thing, and I'm like, every one of these women I'm seeing in here got a ring on. They got a ring on. They married. I know there's probably some arranged marriages and stuff like that. But as I was going through there, I'm like, man. My wife, she was in there. She was like, man, I feel poor in here. I said, yeah, tell me about it. And as I was thinking about it, I say, man, if women today come into a place like this Harrods, and not even just Harrods, like even just like getting online, like if you get online and you look around, you start to compare your life to other people's life. And somebody the other day said, Tony, it sound like you whispering. I am whispering because I'm in a hotel, so the wall's paper thin, and probably somebody right next to me. And you start to compare your life, and you'll end up never finding someone that's good enough for you because you comparing from the outside looking in. And it got me to thinking about how many men are single that are perfectly fine men, like they great guys with a great heart, and will not get a wife because of what so many women are looking for. So many women are looking for height, looks, or money. And a guy is rarely gonna have all 3. And a lot of women will want money over height. And I started to think about it, even with these Muslim women, I'm like, unless they get an arranged marriage, it's gonna be hard for them to get married. And because if they see they counterparts got these men that got this oil money, like I come out of the place And yeah, it's not a real representation, just because of the area. But I come out of the place and it's drivers sitting in custom Rolls Royces, not no rentals, sitting in custom Rolls Royces waiting to pick people up. Rolls Royces, the Range Rovers, the Mercedes S-Class, the BMW 7 Series. And I'm like, man, it is so much money in our world, but this is so demoralizing for your everyday person who will look at this life. And one thing about me, I never believe anything I see because I'm a life coach and I know I get to go behind the scenes of people's life. So I know nothing is ever what it seems. And even in my own life, I know my problems. I know when I'm going through something, whether that's financially, spiritually, emotionally, and I get to see perception. So I get to see like, man, I'm going through this over here with my extended family, or I'm going through this over here in business, but nobody could tell. Like everybody will think that everything is peaches and cream. And I remember having those seasons to where I'm going through. And I might be going through the worst spiritual warfare ever and nobody could tell. And then I could be in the best time of my life, like right now, and people will think I'm in spiritual warfare, right? Because I got the bags under my eyes and my eyes red. Ooh, Tony going through. My life ain't never been better. As far as spiritually, emotionally, and relationally. And so that's when I start to realize that nothing is what it seems and that nobody knows what they're talking about. So I was talking to my wife, I'm like, yeah, like these women out here are shopping, but for a man, money is the cheapest thing that we can have. Once we get money, like money is cheap. But you don't know if these women being cheated on. You don't know if they being talked to like a dog. You don't know if some of them being beat on. And that's the thing. And I seen how one of the guys, these type of men that's in here in the mall, and like the type of men that these day wives, one of the guys, he sat down, he was talking to the waiter and talking to the staff like they was trash. Like he was talking to them like they trash. And I'm like, imagine how he would talk to his wife. I seen another one of the men, he going off on the staff because it's open seats and they hadn't sat nobody down yet. And he walked up thinking he could just sit down. And they were like, no. And he's snapping, he going off. I told my wife, I said, he probably filthy rich. And the women that he was with, they had on they stuff from head to toe. You can't really see nothing but the circle of their face. But I said, imagine how he talked to his wife, how this man in here acting. So it's like, some of these women, not all of them, you can't paint with no broad stroke like this, but I'm like, some of these women, shopping is their only outlet. Some of these women, this is literal therapy, this retail therapy. But I know it's millions of women will look at their life, and you'll look at these women. I'm paying attention. Me and my wife, we pay attention, and we'll see a lady have on a $45,000 bracelet with a $11,000 bracelet with a $30,000 or $50,000 watch with $1,500 shoes. We don't know how much the outfit they got on because we don't know who make it. Could be Hermes that make it custom. We don't know. And you could just look at these ladies and each one of them had on a minimum of 50,000 with that outfit. And it's like, I'm starting to think like, man, if I was a woman and I'm seeing these women with this kind of money on their body and they in here spending more money, I'm gonna be like, man, especially if I come from being broke or scarcity, I'm gonna be like, man, I want that kind of money. And I'm not gonna think about what else they could be dealing with, what else they could be going through. what they husband could look like, or if it's an arranged marriage and it's somebody they don't even like. And so this the thing is, and I say this because I just went to my sister-in-law wedding, and they're not like the ideal couple. It's not like, because she is of color, he is white, and so it's not like you just gonna automatically put them together, because interracial, you have to have an open mind. You gotta meet somebody, you gotta like them for who they are. And then they live in two different countries, like they're from two different countries, so they found love. And when you look at each of them, you could see how, if they were not judging one another just by their connection, their love, they could have made themselves wait for something that maybe like somebody could wrote on a piece of paper and it made sense. Whereas they were able to see beyond what is on paper and say, we perfect for each other. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't do. And I'm like, man, if my sister-in-law was judging this man the way I know millions of women are judging men, and if she had this list that like millions of women have, she would not be getting married in this beautiful wedding with all these amazing people who have flown from the United States to come to her wedding. Like, this wouldn't be happening if she had the standard, typical list. It would not be happening. And that made me think, like, how many more people, men and women, could be married if they threw the list in the trash and just got to know people. I was talking to one of my clients the other day, and she was like, Tony, it's white men have been talking to me. A white man approached her in public. A white man approached her in the DM. And she was like, I'm like brushing them off because I never thought about being with a white man. I never thought a white man would be attracted to me. And I told her, I said, listen, you need to talk to every man. You in your 50s. You need to give out your phone number. If a man bold enough, you done? Don't like it? All right. I said, you need to give out your phone number. Talk on the phone, see how you feel. If you don't like them, cut it off. Go on to the next man. But I'm like, you're not in a place to where you could be all picky and talk about, I'm finna wait on a black man, this height, this complexion. No. Be open to white, be open to Indian, be open to Hispanic. Like, you have to see people the way God sees them. God does not see your race. God does not see your height. And I know some people are like, oh, well, Tony, sometimes it sounds like you're against interracial dating. I'm against self-hate dating. I'm against when you don't love yourself and you pedestalize another race of whatever race that may be, and you want to be with them because you think your race is trash and you don't love yourself and your people who look like you, and you have an inferiority complex, and you think another race is better than your race, and that's why you want to be with them. That's what I don't like. I don't like that. And honestly speaking, I don't like when black people assume that another race is better than black people, and they too good for black people, so they want to be with another race, versus just being open to meeting other races, talking to other races. And if you hit it off with somebody of another race, then more power to you. But to hate yourself and to pedestalize someone else just because of the color of their skin, that right there is stupid to me. But you got to give more chances. And this is the thing. The reason why this thing gets skewed with men and women is because when somebody get money, then all of a sudden we could see that they funny. It's kind of like the Kevin Hart syndrome. Kevin Hart is a short guy. There's really not a woman. His wife is taller than him. So I don't know if he's 5'4" and she's 5'6" or 5'7". But not only is she taller than him, but she's pretty. So the thing what make men so angry is that there's a lot of men taller than Kevin Hart and can't get a woman because women are calling them short. But now because Kevin Hart is a millionaire and he was pretty much already like a celebrity or on his way when he met his wife, that angers millions of men because they're like, so because he got money, now he can get this beautiful wife. And a lot of men think that his now wife is more beautiful, and some even say far more beautiful than his ex-wife who was with him when he was broke, when he was a nobody, like no name, nobody knew him. And so it's like, okay, that wife who is not an unattractive lady, she's a beautiful lady, she's a pretty lady, but it's like to each their own, beauty's in the eye of the beholder type thing. Her look will have its seasons, his new wife will have its seasons, but people will look and say, oh, so you didn't grow from the ex-wife to the new wife, you didn't grow. The only thing grew was your money. You didn't get funnier. You didn't get taller. You only got richer. So is this why this woman is with you? And that may not be the case because nobody knows other than her. So that might not be the case at all, but just based on the optics, just based on how it looks, people gonna assume. The same thing I seen with like, I think it was like, maybe it was like Snoop Dogg daughter or something somebody sent me. And I seen all these comments that was like, oh, he wouldn't be with her if she wasn't Snoop Dogg's daughter. Like, oh, he only with her for her money. He only with her because Snoop Dogg got money. And I see that kind of stuff. I see that kind of stuff happen to where a woman could be everything that the red pill despises. Like multiple kids from multiple men. And you know, the manosphere and the red pill, they will talk about her like she a dog. They will talk about her like she is the scum of the earth, like she's worth nothing. They'll talk bad about her. But then you will see a woman with that same situation, but if she looks like, you know, Beyonce twin or like a celebrity woman, Rihanna, whatever celebrity, men will make an exception. And so then a woman who her look is not in the media, she may have 2 children from 2 different relationships or 3 children from 3 different relationships. And she's like, hold on, why is this woman who looked like this particular celebrity, or she has money from her dad or from her ex or from whatever, and she able to get a man, but here I am, same situation, but just don't look like her or have her money and can't get a man. So what happens is men and women keep making exceptions based on money or status or positioning or connection. And what I'm saying is, and so what happens, it skews it, because then it's like, oh, nothing is real, or people only want you if you got this or if you got that or if you this or that. And You have to break that. You got to break that. Don't be the person who overlooks an everyday person or somebody that is not on your list. And then when you meet somebody just like that, who has money, power, or status, or stature, positioning, connections, now all of a sudden you could see that they funny. Now all of a sudden you could see that they got a good heart. But before you knew about them having money or them being the son or daughter of some dignitary or some celebrity, you weren't trying to hear it. Like, because that is gold digger behavior. It's gold digger behavior. And when you have that gold digger behavior, it's just a real bad look. And you end up playing yourself. And so the thing about it is, when a person has a name or they have money and then they get somebody, they already know who and what they could get before that was known. So they're not really dumb. They're not looking at it like, oh, you love me for me. They know what level they were dating on before they come into money or before someone finds out who they are or what they have. They already know that. And that's why a lot of them aren't faithful. And a lot of them will dog the person out and mistreat the person because they like, I know why you really with me. And here's the thing. There could be millions more marriages because, I'll be honest with you, as a life coach, relationship coach, dating coach, matchmaker, I've coached so many men and women who I tell them about one of my other connections, colleagues, clients. Like I remember telling an individual about another individual. And here's an individual who say they want to be in a relationship. They ready to be in a serious relationship and they want to date for marriage. I tell the individual about another individual who is successful, really successful. All of that right there. And the individual say no. And the other person, a great person, everything. They just had an interesting look. Not unattractive or, whatever by the society standards, but just a different kind of look. Just looked like what, for lack of a better term, looked nerdy. And what have you. So I told the other person, and the other person was like, ooh, no, Tony, no, you trying me, that person look nerdy. And I'm like, listen, here you are, broke, busted, and disgusted, basically. Not really broke, busted, and disgusted, but I'm like, it ain't like you got 1,000,001 quality good options. Like, talk to this person and get to know the person based on who they are. Like, you may start to have amazing conversation, go out for an amazing dinner, go on an amazing trip or excursion, have some endorphins release, and have amazing conversation, and to the point that you forget what the person looked like. Like, you forget that they look nerdy or they look whatever, not that smart, or they look to this or to that. And you forget all about it because of the time that you had with them, the experience you had with them. And you forget all about it. And so this is the thing. It's like, I don't like that. And that's what, and a lot of times people try to lump me in this. Listen, I'm already married. So you can't do what so if I was picky 18, 19 years ago, before social media, before dating apps, you can't say, oh well, such and such that I know, Tony or this person or that person, they husband or wife is beautiful, or gorgeous, or handsome, or successful, or whatever. That's not your case. We in 2024. We got social media, we got gossip blogs, we got dating apps. Honestly, God can't even help a lot of people because your heart not right. A lot of people talking about, oh, I'm waiting on the Lord. I'm waiting on God. Don't move for complacent hearts. God doesn't move for arrogant hearts. God doesn't move for ungrateful hearts. God doesn't move for hearts that's not in sync with the Holy Spirit. God don't move for that. Like, God is not a matchmaker, because if you think God is a matchmaker, then you have to look at people the way God look at them. So when you say, Lord, I know you wouldn't do this to me, God is like, what do you mean I wouldn't do this to you? Because he's 5'8"? Like, that's my son, and I love him so much that I sent my son, my other son, to die on the cross for him. I don't care that he's 5'8". I don't care that. So you thinking with your ovaries. So don't talk about the desires of your heart, because I'm not, God telling you, I'm not giving you the desires of your lust. I'm not giving you the desires of your social media and media delusion and corruption and your mental programming from societal constructs. God doesn't care about societal constructs. And that's what, and I tell people all the time, like, I'm not an exception to the rule. Like, you look at my wife and you see my wife is beautiful, but you don't know what goes into that. Like, you don't know what her hair costs, what her maintenance costs. Like, you don't know what, and you don't know what she comes from either. Like the saying say, you wasn't ugly, you was broke. Me and my wife are a testament to that. We look different than we look when we got together. My wife clown me all the time. Like, I'm out today and I got on this Louis shirt. Now these shirts be running by, this here knockoff. This a knockoff. But these shirts be running by 800 to 1,000. And then I got on these here, Issa Miyake pants. These Issey Miyake, now this the real deal. And I got this Rolex on, and I got this necklace on. And then I went and got this here Hermes bracelet. And I got these Saint Laurent's on. So I'm walking, and a dude come up to me. He work in the fashion store. He said, hey, your outfit is sick. But when my wife met me, I was wearing big baggy Dickies shorts, Dickies, with a cowboy belt, with the big old buckle, with the cowboy belt. Picture this, brown chocolate Dickies, baggy, could fit 2 legs in each one, come past my knees by about 3-4 inches, cowboy belt, black belt with the big gold and silver cowboy belt, probably had a T on it, with the G-Unit tank top. You know, the tank top that 50 Cent made popular, with the thick little strap right here on your shoulder. And then it got a low cut on your chest where you could see all your muscles, because I used to have muscles, with a little gold chain, with some high top Reebok classics, with the peanut butter bottom, chocolate in color. That's how I used to dress every day. Different color Dickies, different color tank top, and some New Balance or some Reebok classics. Looked a mess, looked a hot mess. With that tight old shirt, them parachute shorts, with the shoe. My shoes used to be 2 sizes too big, at the least. I wear a 9.5. I was walking around in size 11. Shoes flapping. Think about that. Based on women list today, I wouldn't have got picked. And I'm 5'10", 5'9.5" on a bad day. So it's like, yeah, I'm walking around today and fashion people coming up to me. And yesterday I had on Issa Miyake. I had on the black shorts with the black top. I got stopped yesterday about 4 times, men and women. One woman was with her boyfriend. She came up to us, asked me, hey, is that Issa Miyake? I said, yeah. She said, it looks so good on you. I'm like, well, darn, I'm standing here with my wife. Now, don't come over here compliment me like that, nah. And I got that 3-4 times. My wife is a fashionista. She ain't get down compliment. They might have seen that Holy Spirit anointing on me. But think about that. I done went from looking like I go to a homeless shelter at night to sleep to walk around looking like effortless money. The Lord did that. See, when you pick somebody and you see them the way God see them, see, my wife saw me for me. And I don't know what it is about her family, and I think it's because her dad is so simple. Like, he can have a Rolex. He got more money than me. He don't have a Rolex. I think because he's so simple that them 3 daughters, they look at people for the inside, not the outside. They don't look at height. They don't look at weight. They don't look at income. They don't look at race. They look at, can we have a conversation? Do I like you as a person? Can we get along? And that's how my wife looked at me. Because her boyfriends before me was all over 6 foot. At least 6'1", up to 6'10". So how in the world she get with a 5'10" man? And she 5'7"-ish. And so, but when she put on heels, some heels she used to wear, she'll be like an inch taller than me. So she could have had that excuse to say, no, I want a man over 6 foot so I feel secure, so I feel more like a woman. She was a biomedical science major. She could have said, I want a man with like a science degree or a degree that's gonna translate into money. I was a criminology major. So at the max, I'm finna max out at 65K with that major, unless I go do something crazy or put in 20 years and become like police chief or something like that in a big city that's gonna pay me 120 to 200K. But in like where we live, my max at 20 years of being a police would have been like 65. You start out around 42K. That ain't a lot of money, especially not today. And you putting your life on the line every day. So it's like she could have said no, and then I'm country. She talk real proper. She could have said no, we don't get along on the country talk. You know, it could have been any of that. And this what I'm trying to tell y'all. You got to throw that list in the trash, and you got to be open to all comers. Everybody who shoot they shot at you. If they got a pot to pee in and a window to throw it out of, what I mean is turn down homeless people. If it's a homeless man or a homeless woman, turn them down because they ain't got nothing at all. So they need to get a few things in order. Now, if the person is homeless and they got on new shoes, you might need to give them your phone number because it might be a scam. There might be somebody who actually is rich and testing you to see where your heart at. Now, I'm not being serious because some of y'all don't understand what a sense of humor is. But if they black, if they white, if they purple, if they green, if they yellow, give them your phone number. If you single and you done been single more than 5 years especially, or if you done been single more than 2 years and you ready to date, it be blowing me. I be blown away when I be talking to single people and I hear their stipulations and requirements. I'm like, you're going to die first because you can't see yourself. And it happen all the time. Like, I'll be talking to single people and they'll be telling me who they want. And in my head, I be like, you must can't see what you look like. Like, you don't look on the level that you could be picky. Like, you don't get to be picky. Like, because if somebody get with you, they making an exception to the rule too. Like, you're not what somebody wrote down on their paper to the Lord. Both of y'all making a concession. And that's what has to be understood. And you got to go into it with that mindset. Like, you can't go into it thinking I'm the best thing since sliced bread and I deserve my fantasy and my every dream and everything I put on my list and then be lying on God. God do not care about how somebody look, how tall they, and people always talking about, oh, God don't want me to have that. God wouldn't do me like that. God don't care about your lust. God is not basing a relationship off of lust and sexual attraction, because that's the largest sexual organ is the brain. All that's gonna be developed. Like, I was just telling my wife that, you know, she went through a slow and steady journey of like weight loss. And she probably over the last couple years, she slowly but surely, you know, was able to lose some of the weight she wanted to lose. I was looking at my phone the other day and looking through pictures and it's showing me portraits. And I did not realize that my wife looked totally different in 2022. And there was somebody who followed me online who commented on a post that I posted of my wife. And women say anything. I'd be like, man, y'all it's like, one lady was like, can you tell us where your wife got her weave from? I'm like, DM her. Like, for one, she might not want to talk about her extensions. She might not want to put that. She might be trying to wear the extensions. When she wears extensions, she might want it to look natural and act like everybody else who be acting like they whole head of hair they have. It's like, that's a private question. Put that in the thing. That's a brand secret. That's a trade secret. Don't nobody want to tell you how they look good. That's their secret. Like, they want to tell you, they might want to charge you for a fashion consult. And then one time, not too long ago, a lady commented, can your wife make a video on how she lost so much weight? I'm like, okay, so basically you saying she was bad built. She was out of body. I ain't blocked the lady, but I deleted the comment. It's like, you don't go up to nobody in public and be like, how you lost so much weight? Versus saying, oh, you're so beautiful today. I love your outfit. And just play it off like they don't always look like that. I was like, man, women is. But when I looked at both of them women, I could see, I'm like, it's jealousy. Like, that's a nasty question. That's a spiteful question. Like, you know you don't ask nothing like that publicly in no comment section when the DM is wide open. When you could DM anybody on Instagram. It's like, and you know who you follow. You know me. You know how protective I am of my wife. And you know I'm not finna be in no comments talking about, oh yeah, her hair is such and such is such and such 99 on such and such.com. It's like, that's a rhetorical question. That is a dumb question. Because you know I'm not finna be in no comments giving away my wife meal plan and workout plan and all of that. And you know my wife is behind the scenes. You know she don't make videos. You know she don't want to be a life coach. So that's a dumb question. Just say, wow, y'all look good, and keep it moving. And Google how to lose weight. Google what extensions look real. And that's what I say, man. But I was shocked that my wife looked different. And you know why? Because I love her so much that even at what she considers her worst, I was in spiritual warfare battling with jealousy, thinking everywhere she go, men trying to holler at her. And when she started telling me, she was like, listen, she was like, men do not approach women anymore. And she said, and y'all have told me that too, but I don't be listening to y'all. But it's so many of y'all, because then every now and then I'll see a woman in the comments say she get approached 10 times a day. So I don't be knowing what to believe. But then I thought about my wife, and I say, you know what? My wife don't look approachable. She's friendly if you talk to her, and if you serving her, like you a waiter, or you a salesperson, she's like, oh, thank you so much. Oh yeah. She's super nice. She was not like that when I met her. She became that. She probably won't admit this, but she became that way from being married to me because I'm overly nice to everybody. And so she became that. But I remember saying to myself at dinner with her and her mom, I remember saying to myself, they rude. But what the world wrong with these people? But they so rude, but they talk to the waiter like the waiter is a slave. I said it really about her mama, and I ain't understand it. But I guess just being socially awkward or just like not having like this outward extrovert personality, they was just kind of like sharp. Whereas with me, my voice inflection and everything would be like, hey, how you doing? Okay, yeah, so yeah, what you recommend on the menu? Oh, okay, and this right here, this right there. All right, hey, I'm gonna go with that. All right, hey, thank you. Whereas they would kind of be like, yeah, let me have this. Yeah. And now, my wife's so nice, I be about to tell her like, hey, calm down now. You been a little too nice now. That's a man now. You a little chipper. And so, I had to realize that is the love of God. That's how God see people. God don't see somebody weight. God don't see somebody height. So when I didn't realize that my wife was much heavier than she is now, until people started bringing it to my attention, and she kind of brought it to my, like, helped me realize. And I was like, wow, okay, yeah, you're right. And when I look back at some pictures, I was like, wow. I was able to like step outside and look at it from an outside perspective. And I literally said to myself, why was I tripping over, like, why was I feeling insecure about somebody trying to holler at her? Because people so picky today. She was too cheeky for these single men out here today, because they want somebody built like a brick house, and they could be built like a runaway wheelbarrow, and they want a woman who ain't got a single cellulite, got a 8-pack of abs, got a booty look like oola, and skin look like and just absolutely fantabulous from head to toe. I'm like, my wife is a well-kept woman. She could eat what she want to eat, how she want to eat. She ain't got to go to nobody's gym. She ain't got to go to nobody's job. She can do what she want to do. I'm like, these men ain't looking for no woman who covers up, who cover up her body and got class and ain't out here trying to look a certain way or look like a sex symbol. I ain't even see it though, because I'm so in love with her because of who she is, because of the way we get along. Like we was out today. We was out all day today. Now I'm so tired too. I'm running around, and my allergies, I keep breaking out everything I eat, eating the dairy or whatever, it give me hives. And last night I broke out bad in hives and my lips swole up. But it went down today. When I get up and start moving around, my lip will go down. But my bottom lip was swole like I had lip filler. And my wife was like, hey, if you're gonna shoot a video, you better shoot it as soon as you walk in before you get hives or your lips swell up. So it's starting to swell a little bit now. Not really, but kind of. And I'm like, these people don't want nothing real. But we was out all day today. We ain't have not one argument, not one disagreement. It's sometimes, she might, be telling me to do something or whatever, and she may be finna get a little attitude, and I just smile at her. I'll just calm down. That's how I am now. I used to be unemotionally intelligent, and I would be the one want to get the attitude, and I want to get me a little attitude, and she'll calm me down. But I'm like, we out all day long, and we getting along. The little boy Taylor come here, just shower, and I'm like, we out all day long, and we getting along. Right now it's 12:15 a.m. I'm about to wrap up this video in a little bit, and we've been up since 7 a.m. So that's 12 hours plus 5. That's 17 hours we've been together. And we just been laughing, joking, just getting along like best friends. And we've been married 17 and a half years. No, almost 17 and a half years. 17 years, 5 months, 4 months. So at this point, we supposed to be over each other based on what people be saying. We supposed to be over each other. I'm supposed to be cheating, have me a whole nother second family. But why you supposed to be embezzling money from me, scamming, siphoning off money? We supposed to be arguing. We supposed to be just ready to throw up. And we out here hanging out like best friends. We just went to an Italian restaurant. We sharing food. She eating off my plate. I'm eating off her plate. We just kicking it, man. And just living. Went to the mall. I ain't got no money for it. But I still bought her something. Bought her a little pair of jeans. Went to a vintage shop yesterday. It ain't in my budget, but I still bought her something. I said, I'll work harder. I'll do something out here. I'll get out here. I said, baby, if I gotta go get on me a pole, I get on me a pole up here to the Chippendale and do what I gotta do. I ain't get on no pole now. People will be in the comments, Tony, please sit down and pray. And we lifting you up. Please do not go start stripping. We don't want to lose you. You are a man of God. I be like, man, is my sense of humor that good to where you can't tell that was a joke because I didn't fall out laughing or write LOL on the screen? Like, come on now. But I said I work harder. And my philosophy is tomorrow not promise. I said, baby, I'm going to spend what I could spend today on you because this is a sign of love for me. This me, just another way. Yeah, I massage your back, hold your hand, hug and kiss you. But I like to show love in several different ways. Here go another sign of love. Tomorrow, if the Lord let me see tomorrow, I'll get up and figure out another way to use my gift tomorrow to make some more money to take care of what I need to do tomorrow. But I'm not finna cheat today, waiting on tomorrow to come when tomorrow not promised. The Lord might come back in our sleep. So I'm gonna show love every day in whatever way that I possibly can. And that's just my philosophy. Don't wait till tomorrow to love. If I get her birthday gift and I got it, I give it to her early, and on her birthday, get her something else to give her. Because I said, your birthday, I got it today. Your birthday might not be promised for me. So I can't wait till that day. Be careful, hold it tight.
This is sparkling water.
That's sparkling? Okay, sit it up there on top. Sit it on top for daddy. Daddy'll drink that sparkling water. They maybe didn't put no more in there.
This is just sparkling.
It's not another bottle in there?
Some of this but this is sparkling as well.
Sparkling? Okay. Yeah, put that one back in there then.
Both of them? Or just this one?
No, leave the other one on top. I'll drink that sparkling water. You don't like sparkling water? Me, taste like flat soda, but I'm gonna drink it because of my allergies. Love you. You about to go to bed?
No, I'm just gonna brush my teeth. I'm gonna stay up for another hour.
Oh, okay. Wow. Stand up another hour. All right. Getting a little privilege tonight. Well, it's after midnight. I left my watch wrong. And so listen to me. You know, I spend it on my wife, but my family, I have family that ask me for money today. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. I don't have it for you. I got it for Cherie Gaskin. I ain't got it for nobody else. And see, this is the thing. And this is what I try to tell people. And then people always try to make something out of nothing. People always try to make something out of this. And I rebuke that spirit in the name of Jesus. Because people come on here and try to start something. And try to, and anytime I tell people this, when I met my wife, she had a little bit of stomach on her. And so what I mean by that is when she sat down, it'll be like a couple of rolls. Like when you sit down, she just had like baby fat, what they call baby fat. She had baby fat on her. And a part of her genetics is Indian, from India. But they had either her ancestors was taken to Jamaica as like slaves, or they had migrated to Jamaica. But her grandma on her dad's side that I met, she looked like an Indian woman from India, not Native American, you know, not like indigenous or whatever, from India. Her daddy looked like an Indian man from India, but it looked like they could have a little something in them too, something else. Because they don't look as Indian as the Indian people I be meeting from India. So it could be mixed with like either a little bit of white somewhere or a little bit of black somewhere or something. Well, if you ever been around Indian people, just in a natural state, they not built like African people. Like a lot of African people are built, even when they are slim, they still like muscular. A lot of African people is either like stocky and muscular or very petite and muscular. Whereas when you see like Indian people and even like some Caucasians and like different people, even like Chinese, we really don't see the muscle definition other than like the Greeks, and not even really like Greece. We see Greek, you know, the Greek sculptures and stuff. But the muscle definition that African people, African descent have is different than pretty much every other race. So my wife, she had baby fat to where when she stand up, you can't really see it. You know, you can't see it. But when she sit down, you can see it. And me being a young man, I was 21, I remember noticing that. And then not only did she have baby fat on her stomach, she didn't have a round booty. When her booty kind of went straight down. And so it wasn't like lifted and plump and sticking out. It was kind of like long and flat. And I remember noticing that. Both of them things was a no-go for me. Because I had an 8-pack of abs and I am a booty man. Meaning I liked me a woman with a shape, with a booty. And so both of them was a no-go for me. And I was 21, and I also was picky. Her last name was a last name I've never heard. It's from the Indian side. It's her daddy last name. I remember when I asked her, what's your last name? I literally said a prayer. I wasn't even thinking about the fact that her last name was gonna change. I literally said a prayer, Lord, please don't let her have an ugly last name. Sure enough, she had an ugly last name, in my opinion. And I was like, oh my goodness. So here I am as a young, picky man, the same way these guys is picky today, but in a different way. It was a few things that I was like, also, she 5'7". That was too tall for me. I wanted a woman about 5'4", 5'5". Also, she light skinned. I wanted a woman that was dark skinned. So a lot of time people, when I talk about this, they be like, Tony, it's easy for you to say, don't worry about no list. Your wife is beautiful. Yes, my wife is beautiful. I can agree she's beautiful. But beauty come in a lot of different packages. She's beautiful, but that's not the beauty I was looking for. I chose my wife based on how we get along, based on her heart, based on her conversation. But she literally was the opposite of what I was looking for. And she said that. And I guarantee you, and see, me, I'm transparent. I'm very transparent. I tell too much business. I talk about everything, but it's for the sake of teaching. My wife is not like that. Her personality is more so, she ain't telling her secrets. She ain't telling her business. She don't want you to know all her business. She don't want you to know nothing about her. Her people, they culture, they different. Me and my mama, we tell it all. We tell it all. You talk to us for 1 hour, you gonna know how many people we done slept with and when the last time we had sex. We tell it all. So with my wife, it was different. I can imagine, because her ex right before me was 6'4". My wife loved basketball. Another guy she talked to at the school for just a little bit was 6'10". They didn't really date though. And a couple other guys that she mentioned to me that like tried to holler at her, they had went on a date. They was like between like 6'1" and 6'6". So I'm willing to bet that if she had to write a list, I would not be on that list. Country, hood, ghetto, short. Only thing I had going for me was she liked my eyes and she liked my body. And then, but outside of that, she fell in love with my conversation, with my heart, with how we got along. That's what she fell in love with. So she made exceptions. I made exceptions based on our preferences. We threw the preferences out the window and we focus on the standards. And when you look at married couples, 90% of the married couples that you're gonna see threw out the preferences. They didn't get to check off every single one of their preferences. They might have got half of them, maybe even got 70% of them. But some of the ones that they had to give up still was big to them and it meant a lot to them. My phone might die. So it just, 10% battery just came up, so it might die. And I got it on airplane mode trying to save battery, but the phone said, man, you talking too much. Somebody get on off here and upload this. And so here it was. So I'm telling you, get over your preferences. God don't see height. God don't see weight. God don't see age. I give you some preferences. I be telling you like, hey, don't date more than 10 years. More than 10 years, 10 or more years younger, 10 or more years younger or older. But technically, God don't see age. So if y'all hit it off, y'all get along perfect, that may be an exception that you gotta make. The only thing God wants is that they got a heart for Christ. And if you got a heart for Christ, that they have a heart for Christ. That's what God focus on. All that other stuff, Lord ain't focus on that. But hey, this Tony Gaskins, God bless you. I'm gonna be back in my regular habitat here soon. We cranking it up. We gonna keep it going for August. These videos gonna keep pumping out. It's just the Lord giving me topics. I got one of my mentees. He be like, man, how you come up with so many topics, man? How you think of stuff every day? Called by God, man. Called by God. Walking with the Lord. And some of the stuff I talk about 2, 3, 4 times because different people see each video. But hey, thank y'all for the support. wealthofhealth.com. Wealth of Health. Somebody say, Tony, how you buy your gummies? I said it. wealthofhealth.com. Go order you, pre-order. This is a pre-order now. Gummies will go out, start going out in August. So be patient. They coming. Don't be acting Blake. It's like, but we don't like to support each other. White people order something 2 years in advance. I ordered a washing machine from a white company 4 years ago. I ain't got it yet. Black people, boy, every week they want to update. Yeah, can you give me an update on this? Listen, do I look like I could go anywhere? Where am I going? I can't run no scam. Where's I'm going? If I told you, I'm going to do it now. But hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.